Hey there, everyone! Welcome back to the Fireside stream. I'm your host, Remy McNeil, and joining me, as always, is the immortal Mollie Rhyme Master. Mollie, how are you doing today?
They released another Ruby book, and we're gonna have to read it, and it's gonna be bad.
Okay, did you see what her name is? Neo's name.
Yeah.
It's Trivia Venile. It's bad enough that you're giving her a different name than Neapolitan, which was already silly enough on its own. I guess maybe that's forgivable. But now you're reminding me of Final Fantasy 13. Come on, people.
I feel like no matter what they do, it's gonna be bad, because Neo's kind of one of those characters who I think is best left up to the imagination.
Yeah, like, even in my fixing, I don't ever want to go into the rest of her backstory. Like, I have ideas for it. I had ideas for it, but I'm just like, you know what? It's better, much better, if we don't see what her backstory is, and we just say that she was an orphan and kind of leave it at that. Just saying. Probably just best to leave it at that. That's it. There's another one. Yes, it is all about Roman and Neo, and I don't know, is it out yet, or is the preview out?
I'm not sure, but it looks like it dropped. I mean, like they put a link to it. Like somebody put a link to it, which I just accidentally opened 3 times for some reason. Available September 7th. That's Petra's birthday.
So
that's also the last day before I move. So I guess that's gonna be my first Alabama streaming.
It's gonna be us reading it. Yeah,
that's gonna be us reading this.
Oh, I can't wait for them to try and copyright strike my channel again. I can't wait for them to be like, well, under a UK law, I'm sorry, lady, you're an American company. Go. Oh my god, if I get the same person emailing me, that would be amazing. Like, just be like, hi, how's it going? Remember that last claim you guys had to let go because it was frickin' fraudulent? Oh, can't wait for it to end with Roman surviving the Gwym in his journey to kill Oscar. So what's Neo's new name? It's Trivia Venile. Which, okay, I that's not a terrible name for a fantasy setting. It's a little weird, but Trivia is actually a Greek, or is that a Roman goddess?
I want to say Roman. Somebody posted it. Roman.
Trivia is a better name than Mithuthu Uyopi from Hubter x Hubter.
Because Hunter is misspelled, I can't tell which part of the name he typed out could also be a typo.
Yeah. Also, you can just shorten that down to Meth, which I think would actually be a funny name for a character. Hey, Meth! How's it going, Meth? I can't wait when it ends, because everything needs an explanation. Did you not watch Cruella? I have watched several coverages of Cruella, and I just know now, I don't know why that movie needed to exist.
I just want to say my favorite fictional name in terms of series that have stupid fictional names is Viola Cadaverini in the Third Ace Attorney game. The mafia girl.
I love her.
Cadaverini.
I meant to say Hunter x Hunter. Also, I'm a dude. No,
I think I said he.
But
it says Daniel.
But now her name isn't a color scheme. I mean, you do realize that the naming scheme in Ruby is super loosely applied to. Like, if you're born with a last name that's a color, you basically get scot-free on what your name actually is.
Pokemon has a stronger naming scheme than Ruby does. And most people don't even realize Pokemon has a naming scheme. But all the major characters are named after plants.
Yep.
Whether you know it or not.
The only one that you know, the only one that I think people will notice is that all the professors are named after trees. I think that's one
Yeah.
that everyone picks up on. But after
But like
that,
Lily is obvious. Gladion is a gladiolus. Um, I think Mallow's name is like something like in her Japanese. The Japanese names are a lot like stronger to it, but I think like her name is some like Hawaiian tree or something. I don't know.
well, is that does that apply to all of Pokemon, or is it just like later gens, or specifically Sun and Moon?
In Japanese, I believe it's always been that way, but I think later gens did it with the English names more.
So they officially changed Neo's name. Let's check. Here's the thing: Neapolitan movie.
What about Ash? You could retroactively apply that because Ash is a type of tree.
Mistral Vale.
Or like another good example is Marnie. Her Japanese name is Mary, like from Rosemary.
A young girl named Trivia Vanille plays with and chases another wilder. Oh wait, no, Trivia isn't actually the character. Trivia is someone else.
For the last time, nobody in Ruby is a character. They are victims of the plot.
Trivia is like a childhood friend of Neo.
Also, frogs in chat for girlfriend.
Well, I don't want to spoil myself on the book. I'll read it and be angry later. Okay, so yes, for those of you who don't know, today is a me and Molly write for you stream where we basically take a prompt and we kind of run with it. We're following up on the last prompt, which was the CW's Pokemon Sun and Moon.
There is no actual CW Pokemon Sun and Moon for now.
For now. Go away, Norton. I'm so pissed. My mother convinced me long time ago to put Norton on my PC. And after like a year, I decided I wanted to remove it. Never could. I can't get this thing off my fucking computer. It sucks. What am I making out plot victims? Because I haven't read the book yet. And I just saw the name Trivia Vanille and I assumed. Isn't this about... So it isn't about the Netflix show. No,
Yeah, they're making like a live action Pokemon show. I don't know. I hope that's just like a stupid rumor because I don't know how they're gonna pull that off. Because like, it was hard enough to make Detective Pikachu look good, and that's like a film with a huge budget and a lot of time behind it.
It could be like a 6-episode series. They could make it relatively small, or they could just use the CW's like CGI team from season 1 of Flash, which was actually pretty good. Actually, and that was something that I wanted to bring up because today we last stream we did, we actually more or less rounded out the character roster, which we'll need to actually refine a little bit further today, and I'll say why in a bit. But today, the main focus is going to be figuring out the seasonal arcs that we're going to be following and the stories that go into each of those. Now, the reason why I say we want to refine the character roster a little bit, we need to kind of like start sectioning them off and being like, okay, who's going to appear in season 1 to do things? Who's going to be like the main cast members for season 1, and then the main cast members for season 2, and so on. Like typically, I think Lily's going to be our like main character, but like around her, the cast is going to shift and change. So, how are we going to like season 1? Let's start thinking about season 1 of this plot. We have a lot of things to work with. Our first synopsis is that the Aether Foundation is overrun, rehabilitating Pokemon that are going endangered. We have a children in cages allegory, although we might want to pare that back, and I'll get to why in just a moment. Lily's struggling with
what allegory?
A children in cages allegory because we have all the Pokemon in cages.
Oh, that's right. I forgot we were doing that. I should point out, just for context, my biggest weakness as a writer is long-term plots. It's just not my thing. Like, I'm really like strong with single scenes or short stories, but like long plots are like I can formulate them. Actually writing them is hard. So I will be here for moral support and for characterization. And for specific plot beats, but
I'll get to that. My method is typically start from the end and work back. That's typically how I go about it. Because
The Ace Attorney style.
The Ace Attorney style. You got to.
Or it's actually, the Zero Escape guy also does that.
Sophocles hacking the Aether Foundation to sabotage the program. Very against Faba being released from prison, while Lily is stuck in the middle of whether or not to have him released. Kiwi works for Lily because Mero's restaurant is failing to make ends meet. Wants Faba out because it's the best financially for the company. Mallow's against Faba's release for personal reasons, but sees how stressed Lily is and eventually sides with Kiwi and Faba. We have questions that are lingering of where are the Pokemon, increased tourism and climate change has reduced Pokemon populations in Alola significantly. Many are now protected. Okay, so before we even get there, I want to make a caveat about CW shows. Typically, the first season is the least bad of the batch. And in the case of, say, the Flash and the Arrow, Flash and Arrow, they're typically the best. They're actually genuinely pretty good. They adapt it in a fair way, and they only kind of go off the rails later when they're kind of starting to run out of material. So we want to make season 1 enjoyable to a point. We still want some of that CW touch to it, definitely. But, it's a lot of the drama, a lot of the interpersonal stuff that's still present. But we got to actually make it kind of compelling, because that's how you hook the audience. And then after that, you can shovel garbage down their throats. You got to get them invested. So what should be the end of season 1? We know that we have a few things lingering out. I want to say...
I want Zinnia there. Zinnia is an agent of chaos and destruction, and if the plot is going to get really, really bad, she better be there to be the only good part of it.
Well, no, Zinnia will show up at some point. I think we have her on here somewhere.
She is. She's going to show up with Ash for some reason.
Right, that's the stinger, though. That's like that's the end of the Super Mario Bros. Movie where, Daisy shows up and she has, like, the rocket launcher in her bag.
Did you know that the reason why Zinnia's cape is burnt looking is according to the manga, it was her friend's cape when she violently exploded? I thought that was interesting.
Pokemon, what the fuck?
It's canon. That's canon. She got, exploded pretty violently, actually.
Okay,
no body exploded.
So first we gotta choose a rough genre to place this in. What are we looking for in terms of genre? What I'm trying to think, because like the generic superhero show that
it's not a superhero show.
It doesn't work.
It's this is like an interpersonal show.
1 minute. There's a cat.
That's such a cute story. Zinnia's story is so nice. I've mentioned this before on stream, but I have like on my own stream, but there's something I call it, like, I forget the term I use, but it's like the Zinnia limit, and it's the limit of like how dark you make a character's backstory to excuse their actions. Because it's like some people will the character will have like a negative personality, and like I've seen people every time I see a backstory written for Zinnia in a fanfic, it's always like
cat on lap.
Great, crazy dark, and I'm like, but her existing backstory already explains who she is. You don't need to go darker than that. So it's like that's the limit of how dark you need to make you should allow a backstory to get it just has to explain who the person is. Don't go further than that. Cat.
Yes, although he's been worrying me. Like, beginning of the day, he was already outside the study door waiting for me, which is weird. He usually comes in like an hour or two later, so I'm actually kind of concerned. Are you okay, buddy? You alright, buddy?
Cat.
He's now rubbing against my microphone.
ASMR.
Yes. This is now a cat ASMR stream. Please get all your cat fans.
Oh my gosh!
He purrs loud. He's our second loudest purr in the house. I don't know what to do with him. He's just like this.
And yes, Noah, the exploding thing was from the Pokemon manga. What other piece of media in Pokemon would it be from? You know how it is.
Okay, all right. Have you gotten your rubbing out of the way? Good.
Although I have to say, it was actually the games that confirmed that she was suicidal. She's the only suicidal Pokemon character I know of, except maybe like Giovanni in that one scene in Heart Gold. But I always like it when a series is like super innocent, and then there's just like one or two things in there that are really dark.
Like brutally dark. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
Are you done standing upright so I can actually get to work? I need to actually adjust my seat here, buddy. Come on.
I mean, Zinnia's fun because like she kind of as a character, it's like she kind of understands that she's in like a Saturday morning cartoon. So if she does things that are against the rules of the world, nobody's going to stop her because they're like, "Hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to do that."
All right, so we got to figure out what is our main focal cast for season 1. Obviously, Lily is our main character, quote unquote.
Kiawe and Mallow have to be there.
Kiawe Mello, so does Faba. Faba needs to be at least a reoccurring role.
Well, no, Faba's in jail. He's a plot like device, but he's not really a character at this point.
Well, they have to visit him once or twice. Like, that's kind of how that works. So I'm thinking like reoccurring 4 appearances, something like that. We want to how many episodes was the Flash?
Excuse and explain are 2 different things, though, I think. That's true. That's true.
Flash season 1 had 23 episodes. So that's what we're aiming for. Season 1, 23 episodes. You gotta be careful. My instinct was like, oh, we gotta fill out all 23 episodes. And no, we gotta let the sub writers do that. So Mallow and Kiawe. All right, so we're leaving. Where is Faba? There's Faba. All right, we'll move him up, and we'll put him here. Lucamine's catatonic, so she's not present. I miss Sun and Moon anime Lucamine.
She's just, like just a dweeby mother. She gets a little evil, but not too evil. You have the manga where Lily like has legitimate PTSD.
Celine, I believe.
Celine needs to be there to start the romantic arc. That's like super unhealthy, but it's like
she needs to come in at like the halfway point. I think. Like,
yeah, first we need to show how destructive Lily's behavior is, and then Celine will come in to save her. I can change him.
Gladion. Are we going to do much with Gladion this season, do you think?
Gladion's always like depicted as kind of this like vagabond, I think is the word. Like, it's not the word. Like, he's constantly moving around, and so we could bring him in later, and we could just say like, oh, he's off doing whatever.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be a
like, bring him back when it's important. Like, oh, I've gathered information on XYZ.
He's a reoccurring character. Let's see.
Lucamine can be active in the Arrow style flashbacks.
Yeah, we can have those. We can flash back and actually show the events of Sun and Moon as they, quote-unquote, actually happened, not just the game version of them.
There's one flashback. It is just like an episode needs to just cold open on Lucamine beating the shit out of Lily for 30 seconds. It's like, that's what really happened.
Main.
Drifter. That's the word I was looking for.
From start... and literally everyone else. Main from start, and then focal character. Okay, Faba is reoccurring. Lucamine, recurring flashbacks.
The Pokemon manga sounds kind of dark. Buddy, you don't know the half of it.
Sophocles.
Sophocles needs to be like a major... Villain is a strong word. He needs to be a conflict.
Okay, we'll make him the main antagonist, so to speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah. By the way, Sophocles' story, like one of his like little story arcs, like recurring arcs in the actual anime, is he has a Pokemon that's like a battery, and there is competitions where people put them in like little RC cars and race them. It's one of the best things.
Mollie and
Moylain, I think is how you say
Moylain.
it.
I don't know. I haven't played the game. Now, as the responsible producer for this show that's making all of the ideas for it, I have done my due diligence and looked at the Wikipedia page. So I am 100% up to snuff on everything that happens in Sun and Moon that fits within a 3-paragraph span.
Yes. What's going on, my critters?
Oh, come on, man. You got to do it with the hard R.
Hard R critters. Is Mon involved? I think it's Mon. Is Mon involved? The arc of Gladion looking for his dad could work in this. I thought Mon in the anime was like in a different dimension.
Well, that can be saved for like the Zinnia stuff.
Oh, that's true. She can be like, I told y'all. I kept telling y'all about alternate dimensions. You didn't listen to me.
So Mon is Gladion and Lily's father?
Yeah, he got sucked into the Bean Island dimension. It makes sense. It makes sense in the game.
Part of the...
Right? I'm not like tripping, right?
Okay. What about how?
Hal's actually not that major in...
Well, he's the rival, quote unquote, right?
And he's major in the games, not in the anime. That's faunus racist. You can't say that word.
We have him diabetic, struggling with depression, not chosen as next Kahuna, dealing with a heavy blow to his self-esteem, also struggling with loss of his grandfather. We could have like a Celine thing with him too, because like
I can change him.
Well, more that like maybe he has like an unhealthy. I mean, not less that she's responsible. More he has an unhealthy coping dependency on her. Oh, and like his spurned lover.
Ooh, let's go.
Spurned lover of Celine. Now, Celine, did we say that she's new to the island, or would be incredibly?
I think she's like been there, just not involved with the plot. I'm gonna have to see your C word pass.
Interview most recent.
Hey, I'll have you know, I'm faunus passing. Okay.
Oh no, the most recent Sonic director derived all of his knowledge off the Wikipedia page. Oh, he also found this little thing called Sonic.
He should have taken it all from the Sonic Fanon wiki, which I saw once when I was 12 and never forgot.
Okay, so here we go. Lucimin recurring flashback. Moylain is...
Faunus coded.
Lana is probably...
He's there in Alola. He was just teleported to Pokepelago and is now amnesiac. Oh yeah, I forgot that he like comes back in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. And I guess... Hold on. Listen to this from Bulbapedia. This is about a mod in the anime. In Chasing Memories, Creating Dreams, when Gladion located his Zoroark on Melee Melee Island, Zoroark created an illusion of a moment from Gladion's childhood involving Mon. Gladion informed Mon that then infant Lily was crying, earning thanks for Mon. Luzamine then entered the room with Lily, and Mon helped her to stop crying. That's so sad, what? Hey, remember when just Zoroark goes up to Gladion? Remember when you had a dad and you cared about your sister? Fuck you.
Okay, so, alright, we need an A plot and a B plot. Let's focus on that. A plot, B plot. The A plot is definitely everything involving the Aether Foundation, Lily, Faba, Kiawe, Mallow, like all that stuff. Romantic plots are not considered in the B plots, for the record. Like the B plots can be spun from the romantic things, but typically B plots more or less focus on like a different sub character group doing things. So I'm trying to think, like, I think an example of this would be the relationship between, I think, Thea and Roy in season 1. I'm trying to equate this to like Arrow,
okay.
or maybe the
which
Flash.
live stream where this whole thing began, so I could get context, because I'm confused right now. It was our last writing stream, so it would be 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
What a friendly little.
We got
Zora
hired by
arc.
the CW. That's what it's called.
I'd love to have one to show random strangers the tragedy and regrets of their past.
Yes, this was an episode of anime when Gladion was looking for his dad's Zorua, who had ran off when Mon disappeared.
I'd like stopped watching it at one point. I guess it was after that. I need to watch that one. Mon is the endgame antagonist. I don't know if he's alive. Like in the anime, I think he's dead. He doesn't come back.
Mon, Pokemon. That's their father?
Yeah.
Alright, I kind of see it now. That's a little bit better. He got fat.
Yeah.
In the anime, Mon appeared again as a part of Zodiac's illusions, which created Lily's first sailor. Mon appeared in a flashback. Searching for Mon.
Yeah, I think he's just gone. He has to be a flashback character to stay in the spirit of the show. You use him only to make you cry.
Well, I like the idea that like he should be the endgame villain, or like a later season villain type deal.
That would be fun, and definitely something the CW would do. I remember one episode of the anime I watched where they find like Magirna, which is like a robot type, like it's like a mechanoid type thing, and like they find Mon's journal on it, and it's like they said this Pokemon protected an ancient princess, and so when I saw Princess, I of course had to get it for Lily, and I'm just like, don't do this to me.
Okay, so the beginning state of this season is we have Lily, who is struggling to take control of Aether properly, struggling to lead it. You have Mallow, who has a struggling business. Then you have Kiawe, who is basically just trying to make ends meet so that he can support his wife, but their relationship is on the rocks.
Well, yeah, because there can't be happy relationships unless they're completely dysfunctional.
Yeah, and like that's why I'm trying to think of like what are the end games for all this? Like, how does this end? Also, there's Sophocles, who's like doing something. Also, my cat wants out. 1 minute.
Cat.
Whoa. There you go, cat. Get out of here. Leave. There you go.
How many Pokemon are in the franchise now? Like 800 something? I don't know.
800 and some change. Ugh. Okay, so I'm just trying to think, what should the end point of this storyline be? Like we have all these different things to tie together. It was Kiawe that wants to put Fawa back in place. Sophocles, is Sophocles like for or against it?
He's very against it. He's like a radical leftist hacker.
Okay. But he's gay, damn it. I was going to say, we could have an affair between him and Mallow, but no.
He's gay and very buff. Like, super. Because, I don't know, because, like, originally he's this, like, really cute little round child, and I thought it'd be really funny if he turned into, like, this, like, Magic Mike-looking fucker.
So let's see. Mallow does call herself a bicon.
Oh, it hurts.
It hurts so good.
You know, it hurts badly, and she has the haircut too, which would look terrible on her.
Calls herself Vicon as unrequited pining for. That's right. She's pining for Lily, so that's the trio thing going on. That's the love triangle thing going on. All right, so we know. And what? Why is this outlined? No, don't underline that. End there. Then we need middle, beginning. Aether Foundation overrun with rehabilitating Pokemon. Foundation sabotage the program. Very against Faba being released from prison while Lily is stuck in the middle of whatever not released. Callaway looks for Lily because Mallow's restaurant is works for Lily. Wants Faba
Give
out.
them compulsory heterosexuality. I tried to edit the Wikipedia page of Noelle Stevenson's wife to say she was bi because she cheated on Noelle with men. And someone changed it back saying that was her compulsory heterosexuality. And I'm just thinking, like, that's not what you use that for.
Yeah, like, you're married to a woman, or you're dating a woman. There is an eligible, sexually active woman not down the hall from you, and you're choosing to sleep with dudes. You're not compulsed by anyone. You are literally doing that out of your own free will at that point.
I cheated on you because of society.
People are gonna start saying that, man.
If I ever try to get into a real edit war with that person, my next thing is gonna be like,
oh, I'm late to the stream. How bad is it already? Raymond just said Crito with
not
the
too
hard
bad
R.
yet. We're just
Raymond just said Crito with the hard R. Okay. Beginning Aether Foundation overrun. So how do we want these storylines to end? Like, okay, so the Aether Foundation plot, how should it end is the question.
I think it should end with Faba getting out, and then like he does bad stuff, and that's like the stinker for he opens up the wormholes, and that's how Zinnia comes in. It says, "I warned you about wormholes, dog. I warned you."
Well, no, I think he should get out and start doing good, and I think like we get to the stinger that like while he's doing a lot of good, it's doing a lot of bad too under the cover that no one realizes.
But like the wormholes are endgame. That's all I'm saying.
Right. But like we gotta save that as like the tease for season 2. We can't have the wormholes in season 1. Wormholes are unimportant in season 1. Zinnia is gonna show up and be like, "There's some strange stuff going down." Bam! End of season. Like that's kind of the thing. So
she goes, "There's some strange stuff going down." After, like, robbing a convenience store.
Yeah. So let's see. Aether plot. Faba...
I warned you, dog, Zinnia, to her friend who's burnt to a crisp. It's funny that you assume there was a body remaining.
Faba gets out of prison. What does he do that's good for the Aether Foundation?
He, like, manages to expand their facilities and make things more efficient so they could take care of more Pokemans.
Okay, knows how to expand their facilities and manage the Pokemon influx. Begins rehabilitating parts of the islands to make them more suitable for Pokemon again.
Mm-hmm.
Debilitating.
But it's just to attract something that and then the Ultra Beasts. That's season 2, and then Guzzlord screams and yeah.
For Pokemon again.
I really like the Ultra Beast plot in the original Sun and Moon because I love the role Annabelle has. It was like the implication that they found her washed up on the beach, amnesiac. And Looker was like, "Hey, so our last human bait for Ultra Beast kind of died violently. You want to take her place?" And Annabelle was like, "Sure."
Okay, but what about Sophocles?
I think Sophocles, he's gonna like do some like cyber bio, like not a biotech, like a cyber attack. Like I don't know, he like makes an Aether Foundation aircraft fall out of the sky or something. Like it kills people, whatever it is.
Oh, we're making him a hard villain.
Uh, no, because he's still doing it for the greater good, so he's gonna be redeemed in the end, don't worry. And he's gay, he can't be evil.
Okay, so but like, so making an airplane crash, that's a little too unambiguous. I mean, the audience aren't going to go for that.
Dude, Batwoman.
There's a lot about Batwoman. You're going to have to be more specific than that.
Isn't there an episode of Batwoman where a girl tries to like kill hundreds of people, and then
you're right.
And
but
Batwoman's
okay,
like,
she fails.
It's okay because you were sad.
She fails, mind you. She doesn't succeed to killing those people. So like that's the big thing is like the attack has to be averted by like using Pokemon or something like that. I don't know. Like the plane starts to fall out of the sky, and then they use like Aerodactyl or something to like keep it afloat. But what happens to Sophocles in the end? Like does he get his comeuppance, or like does he get arrested? Like that's what I'm pulling for is like what happens to him at the end.
No, I told you he can't be bad because he's gay and he's a left wing of some sort in this universe. So he's a metaphor for something. So he can't be bad. Right?
Well, he's the main antagonist.
But he's not bad. Like, Faba's gonna be way worse.
Season 2 of Batwoman opened with a plane crash and the original Batwoman dies to replace with... No, I knew about that one. That's why I was like, that doesn't line up with...
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They wanted... I think Ruby Rose was the original actress, and they were like, she isn't gay enough. Like...
No. Ruby Rose got out of Dodge. She left the show. And... I think, like, she's given 4 different reasons now as to why. Like, oh, it was a back injury. Or, no, I was allergic to the suit. Or, no, I didn't like the hours. Or, no, I didn't like this. I think it's, like, 3 or 4 reasons now that she's given why she's not in there. And I think it really just boils down to she saw a sinking ship when she sees one.
She's a smart woman. She got out of there.
Does the Aether Foundation have the Regis, but Team Skull steals them to make some
Reggies.
Reggies, sorry.
No, they do not. I don't think the Reggies are there.
No, the Aether Foundation does not have Regis Philbin. Wholesome Prison Break. Don't forget you're only gay bi if you end up... I mean, like, you could still have him arrested, but, like, have people be, like, objecting to it.
Yeah.
So, like, I think Sophocles... arrested, but there's only one character that should hate him. I think maybe it should be Celine. Celine was never really given much personality to other than she's going to say.
I know, but if she's going to start fixing people with gay romance, she can't be against the gay lefty hacker guy.
No, but that's how we, like, smoke screen it. That's how we smoke screen. Oh, we're not, like, progressively oriented. Look, we have one gay hating another gay. Like that,
I guess.
Everyone thinks he shouldn't be because he really meant well. But Celine...
Back when Ruby Rose was originally announced, they did complain that she wasn't Jewish, so that she shouldn't have been playing her. Well, Jews can look like just about anything, so that's not very, like, nice of them.
Yeah, like...
she has to have brown curly hair and a big nose,
and she needs to talk about her son, who's going to become a doctor.
And she needs to be a banker. Like, is that what they mean? Because every time they say something like that, it's like, oh, is that what you would prefer? Is that what you want? You know, it's kind of like when a character has to be played by a Latino person. They're like, we wanted a brown Latino. And I'm like, oh, so white Latinos don't count. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you mean?
Like,
but they have to be, like, super stereotypical looking? Is that what you mean?
Like, I think about, like, the stereotypical Jewish person in my mind, and you don't ring it. You don't typically ring it very deeply. I mean, you have curly brown hair, but that's like the closest I can get.
I have extremely Mediterranean hair. That's about as much as it gets.
So it's like that's about it. Everything else about you is just I would just, I call you straight American.
New York.
New Yorker.
I do have like members of my immediate family in finance. That counts.
Yeah.
Finance and law. That's pretty.
Yeah. Okay. Look, there's because those are high performing stuff. There is a cultural thing to it. I think like a lot of.
Well, yeah. It's like Asian Americans and engineering and medicine. They're considered high performing jobs. So a lot of them go into it.
Yeah. Okay, so Sophocles is arrested. Everyone thinks he shouldn't be because he's really meant well, but Celine is hardcore angry at him and thinks people are silly or stupid because he almost killed people. Because like I think that's like sort of it, like Celine would be like the hero and just sort of like she needs a villain. Oh, maybe that's Celine's big thing, is she needs a villain. I'll play with it. I'll make a note. Possible hero complex and needs a villain. Because I mean, frankly, we're working with a blank slate with Celine, so it's like we kind of have to glean from the character. We have to glean away from the character to figure it out.
I was on Tumblr yesterday, which is always a great way to start a sentence. And I saw someone who was posting about Sun and Moon, and they like shipped Lily and Mallow, and I'm like, okay, you got a shonen and you're shipping teenagers. I don't care because it happens every day, but like Sun and Moon is like below a shonen. It's like a children's show, basically. It's a really fun children's show. But like,
I mean, I don't
like Lily's like 11.
I mean, to be fair, like we're kind of doing that when we're aging them up for the circumstance. Like, are you talking like they're shipping them at age?
In the show, it's like they're like posting clips in the show and being like, "See, they're clearly girlfriends," and I'm like,
"Oh, okay, that's wrong."
I seen them do that for other characters in the show too. Like I remember there was somebody who's like, it shows like Ash and Kiawe like doing a fist bump or something.
I mean, that's like, how we met. I made an awkward joke about shipping in Sun and Moon, and then we got in a whole argument about it, and then we kind of like came to agreement on things.
We did the verbal equivalent of beating the shit out of each other and then becoming best friends.
I like that analogy. It's great.
But yeah, it was, the post was like Kiawe and Ash like fist bumping, and someone was like, "See, they're totally boyfriends," and I'm like, middle school boys fist bump. That's like, it's like. That's like one of the least intimate ways you can make contact with somebody.
Like, that's one thing that like I don't like about My Hero Academia fans. Like everyone ships Midoriya and Bakugo, and I know I'm guilty of shipping like main characters with tsunderes a couple of times, like, but they don't really get on good terms with each other until season frickin' 3, guys. Like,
doesn't Bakugo tell Midoriya to kill himself?
Bakugo is literally trying to get Midoriya to kill himself for the first half of My Hero Academia. Like,
people actually like the Sun and Moon anime. Yes, it's unironically really fun. It's really good.
Yeah,
I loved watching it. But this reminds me, one of my like, my favorite video that I'm unable to sit through for more than 30 seconds is it's like some girl with like her cosplay and like her like really weird looking makeup, and it's like ASMR Bakugo talks to you about your self-harm. It's like Bakugo literally told Midoriya to kill himself, but okay. Yeah, like the girl's very clearly like 15 years old. It's so funny.
There's a lot of, yeah, you're right, Moopa. There's a lot of trash ships in My Hero Academia, and like one of the things that gets me, like I go into My Hero Academia tab and I'm just like, I want to look for my favorite ship, just because like you know I want a cute Dekucho, or maybe like a frickin' Momo and why am I blanking on his name? He's the other one that shipped with Midoriya a lot.
Red and white hair.
Red and white, yeah.
I know who you're
Todoroki.
talking
Todoroki,
about.
that's his name.
Totoro.
Momo and Todoroki. I want like you need something cute, and there's been a few that are like really. There was an AU for Todoroki and Momo that was really cute, where they were both Olympic athletes.
Hold on. Now, he only told Midoriya to directly to kill himself in the first episode. The rest of the first half of season 1, he's trying to personally murder Deku.
Yeah.
But never watched Sun and Moon, but is that how it is? Yeah, it's actually really good because, like, something the reason why I got bored of the Pokemon anime growing up, after, hitting, like, 14 years old, is because the whole, like, episode format of, like, they're going from point A to point B, they meet someone, Team Rocket, end episode, is like, what's, I think it's boring because you start wanting a more serialized plot. As you get older, what Sun and Moon does is it actually keeps them pretty located in the same area. So you just have a cast of characters that aren't revolving every episode. Like they could actually take the time to focus on each one. And it feels a lot more genuine, and it's like so cute. It's so cute.
But
just kids learning about the world.
But to finish my point, because I kind of lost it. I want to I want to see a cute ship or something like that, and I go and search the tag, and literally every single fanfic I come across in there has over tagging problems. Every single one. You go into that.
I hate that.
You go into that fandom, and like, because there's just so many characters, and so many of them are just so poorly defined. Like, there's like half of Class 1A get actually pretty good characterization. The other half of them are they're pretty well established, but they're not super well characterized. Like, does anyone care about Sato? I don't care about Sato. He makes good cake.
I care about the frog girl.
Oh, she's one of the half, but yeah, Suyu gets, like, some good characterization. Suyu is, low-key best girl.
To think that in 2016, I loved the frog girl character. Now I'm dating a frog girl.
Convince Sarah to cosplay Suyu. But yeah, Suyu is a low-key best character. Momo is low-key best character, but they're not super well, like, developed. They usually get, like, single episode focuses type deal going on. All the same, it's like there's just so many of them, and it's just like, I don't care about half of these. And it's a problem with a show like that. It's a cast of thousands, and you just lose track of everyone. It's why I don't like One Piece. I look at One Piece, and I just see, like, oh, there's over a bazillion characters now. No! I don't have time to keep that all in my brain. Like, I will be needing, like, reference sheets for every single one of them at some point.
Yeah, the thing about the Sun and Moon anime is that it was literally just cycling through 6 characters, and like occasionally you get instead of having like singular daily characters or weekly characters for one episode, they'll have ones that come back for a few when they're needed, which is not. It makes it feel like there's more of a world instead of like an endless hallway that they're walking through.
I'm a fan of, like, you should have your cast should be about 20 wide at most. Of those, 8 should be recurring, 4 should be main, and then everyone else be sort of like special guest star types. You don't have to have a cast of thousands, although that is a very, like, that's why My Hero Academia is so popular. It has Ruby Syndrome in that way. Although My Hero Academia is infinitely better written. It's just like it has so many characters that people can just latch onto and just like fill themselves into, or they can fill themselves into this world because they feel like there's such a birth of diversity. They can be like, oh, I self-insert right here.
Do the Attack on Titan method. Too many characters, kill half the cast.
Okay, well, we're off topic now.
Yes.
So Sophocles is arrested. All right. Ooh, no, that's not what I wanted to press. How do we want to solve the Kiawe Mallow Lily plot? Oh, the Kiawe Mallow plot.
I think it should be like they should stay together, but it's like that they resolve their differences and continue their relationship, but it's portrayed negatively.
Um, I feel like it should be the other way around. I feel like they should be in a similar boat as to, because I'm trying to think in Arrow or the Flash, even in their good seasons, the relationships were never friggin' healthy. Iris and Barry is a garbage tier romance. I hate Iris. I despise Iris. Iris, the character, I make clarification because I don't know the actress. The actress might be very well fine, but the character should die in a fire.
I'm sure the actress is a lovely woman.
Yes. Or if she's not, I don't care. She's a real person, doesn't deserve to die. Then there's like all the relationships in the Arrow where Ollie is literally trading out characters per the season. Yeah, so Kelly and Mallow plot. I think they should stay together. It's clearly unhealthy, but show portrays as good. And then you have the Lily Celine romance,
which is even more unhealthy.
Get together. It's not clearly though. It's not clearly unhealthy from the get-go. It's like a season 2 where you really start to like the unhealthiness starts to leak in. Not clearly unhealthy at the start, still portrayed as good. Oh yeah. Why didn't you involve me in decisions involving your son from another relationship, Felicity? God, that freaking plot is so...
Well, I read the Neo chapter. Raymond, have some alcohol ready if you stream it. Oh, man. Wait, Kiyoe and Mallow dating? That's a guy and a lady, right? I'm pretty sure it should be portrayed as bad.
Okay, so
yeah.
I want to explain to you what happens in season 4 of The Flash. Of The Arrow, sorry. In season 4 of Arrow, Ollie learns that he actually had a son with a girl that he had a one-night stand with, or at least had a fling with, basically, over, like, summer break. And it's actually... The lead-up into it is actually really good, where, like, you see a flashback of him before all the events of the series, like, with him in his wild college years, where, like, he's actually having, like, a moment of character panic about it, where he's like, oh god, I'm going to be a father, and his mother is like assuring him, don't worry about it, honey, and he's like, no mom, you don't understand, like I'm going to be a dad, and like I'm going to have to marry her, and like he's having this like genuine crisis of conscience. It's actually a really good scene for him, because like it's this college kid running up against reality and stuff. It's really well done. And then his mother pays off the woman to have an abortion and leave the city. And so the woman leaves the city, but doesn't have the abortion. She has the kid. And in season 4, he learns about the kid still living. And the woman says, Ollie, I want you to promise me you won't tell Felicity, your current girlfriend, that you have a son. And if you don't promise me that, I won't allow you to see your son. And it's like...
This is messed up.
Yeah, it's messed up as fuck. And so he can't tell Felicity, because then he can't see his son. And then Felicity learns of his son anyway, and blames him for it. And he doesn't just say, she made me promise, or else I wouldn't get to see him. Like, she was literally threatening me with the ability to see my son. And, like, Felicity blames him for it. And he could have just... That entire situation pissed me off to no end. It was, like, literally him just saying, she... Like, because she knows. Like, you can't not tell her.
I really want to meet these writers. Like, just talk to them.
Season 4 of Arrow was trash, except for Damien Dark, who was hilarious. I love that. That actor just makes anything gold.
So the Sun and Moon... Let's see. Ryan has opinions about the Sun Moon anime. Not only are given equal treatment, I would struggle to remember something important Mallow did. Sun Moon anime is more Lily show than anyone else's at times. I mean, yeah, but it's again, it's just like a fun feel good show for most of it. I'm not asking for some like like old Final Fantasy tier plot where everybody gets like extraordinary character development. I like them. They can just be there and be themselves and be cute and have like defined personalities, and I'll be okay in this types of situation.
Okay, so
Mallow did do something. She had the saddest Pokemon episode ever. The one time she gets focused, it's just like, oh, it's just the most heartbreaking thing. I've discussed it before. It's just pain.
Okay. So we have I think, do we have any more plot lines to address?
We have Lana.
Oh, that's right. What is Lana doing this entire time? Is she the one chasing
Lana
Sophocles?
is an Interpol officer.
Right. Lana. What is
she's
she?
Very jaded.
Yeah, Lana's very jaded. But what are we doing with her? She reoccurring or main character?
She is. I think she should kind of be in the B plot. Her thing is that she has like police brutality allegations because it's a modern show. Is Lana powerful in the show? She is the most powerful in the show. We're gonna make her powerful by making her good.
B plot main from start. So what is the resolution to that?
Let's see. Struggling with accusation of police brutality, straining her relationship with Mallow on Sophocles' trail. Really tall in tone now. She's on the trail of the wormhole stuff. Like Faba's gonna end up having connections with some outside regional thing, like some international organization to get the wormholes open. Lana to be a Pokemon Ranger, she could like do that on the side. Like that's her main gig, and like but she's like secretly also an Interpol agent.
Plot. Well, how does it resolve? Like that's the thing. It's like, how do we resolve that plot for the season? Does like the allegation against her get proven false, or what?
It gets proven false, but she's still suffering from like the repercussions of her relationships being strained.
Well, I imagine like those are actually healed during the middle plot. Like in the sense of like people kind of like Lily and the like maybe Celine is the one that like kind of reaches out to her and like they're kind of a tag team duo trying to track down.
No, Nanu has to be there. Nanu has to be there.
What does Nanu
He's so good. Nanu is he's an Interpol agent. He's like this old dude who just lives alone with his like 17 cats.
Yeah, but like he's like he's a recurring character. He's not a
he's not a main character.
Yeah. Let me put him up there. Where is Nanu? Nanu is Lana's mentor. He's a goof. Recurring. Lana's mentor takes a fall for some of his things. Gladion, I feel like Gladion's not going to be present in this season. I feel like
no, he's
a season 2 character. Like he can come back in for some drama with Lily in season 2.
Yeah.
So, Lucamine's up there. Recurring flashbacks. Same thing with Moylaine. Cookie Burnett.
Kukui and Burnett will be season 2.
Nurse Joy. No, Nurse Joy is like a background character in season 1 type stuff. Like her and Officer Jenny.
Nanu is also acquaintances with Giovanni. Oh yeah.
Guzma? Were we doing anything with Guzma?
We're not going to do anything with Team Skull until season 2. Gladion dies off screen. That's between seasons 2 and 3. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Ilima? Is that her name?
His.
Well, he's a gender something.
He's going to be a background character. I forgot I said he's played by the dude who voiced Double Trouble in She-Ra. That dude has said some interesting things that I can't repeat on stream.
Really?
Yes.
What's the topic?
Children.
Oh.
I was searching up his name. I accidentally typed his name is Jacob Tobiah, and I almost typed in Jacob Truba, who was a player on the Rangers.
So how does Hal figure into all this?
I think we can save Hal.
Yeah, he can create like the love triangle for Celine on Celine's side of the fence.
Yeah.
Hala dead. Wick still doing her thing. Okay, so the Lana plot. How does it resolve? Catches is Sophocles. Maybe Sophocles framed her to try and get away. Do you think that would be up Sophocles' alley?
What?
To frame Lana for the police brutality.
Yes.
I always forget what Sophocles looks like. Oh, that's right. He's fat. Okay, got it.
He's like a fat little pudgy kid.
His manipulation of footage to make Lana.
To me, if they don't do much to even justify being around, they should just cut Mallow and Sophocles. I'm not going to criticize the writing decisions of Pokemon Sun and Moon's character kit. They have some good little moments, and I don't think I'd be the same person without witnessing Charge Bug Racing.
Let's see. His manipulation of footage to make Lana look bad is exposed, exonerating her. I don't think she'd be a Pokemon Ranger. I think she'd be an Interpol agent full time.
Yeah, sure. Like police officer and Interpol agent. Like, she deals with both.
Is allowed to return to the Force. Okay. So there are the plots. So let's work backwards. Actually, let's indent these a little bit more. Nope. There we go. Fingers work properly. There we go. Okay, so this is the end. Ends.
Oh, the actor didn't say anything about children. He said something else stupid. Or they said something else stupid. In their book. Lana busted a charge of bug race for being a drug cover-up. No!
Lana what? Busted charge... So Aether Foundation. So the beginning of that is overrun, rehabilitating Pokemon that are being endangered.
If you're wondering, the quote I was talking about by the She-Ra actor, at one point they say, "I want to be sexually objectified. The idea that being seen as a sex object is universally a bad thing is too simple, like many tenets of feminism."
Season 2.
So make of that what you will, everybody.
That's what he said. That was the big thing you can't repeat on stream.
I was thinking of a different quote, and I said I realized it's not them; it's somebody else.
Ah. Okay. So I'm putting season 2 stuff out just because I want to keep those notes separate. Safety, Sophocles, hacking, Aether Foundation, sabotage. See, guys, it takes a lot of effort to write poorly.
It's hard to write badly.
Especially when you want to write good. Sophocles hacking Aether Foundation to sabotage the program. Okay, so I don't need that anymore. Basically, I just need the kids in cages thing. Roy with Faba. That's it. Also, did this weirdly... Okay, so we go. Aether Foundation, overrun, rehabilitating Pokemon, are going endangered. Don't need the kids in cages allegory anymore. Lily's struggling with the ethical implications of keeping Pokemon in cages for their own safety. I don't think we need that. I think it was just like struggling to rehabilitate the islands. Oh no, we kind of have to have the kitchen cages thing, don't we? Damn it. Okay, I guess that makes sense. We're more the Batwoman line, I guess.
I love the charge book racing episodes because in Japanese, the charge book goes chim, chim. It's the cutest thing in the world. Like that's what I'm just here for. It's just cute. It makes you feel all fuzzy to watch it. Like there's an episode where they just have a big sleepover, and you're just like, wow, that was I just feel you feel happy. You're like, they're all such buddies. There's so much love.
Frick you, that's season 2 material right there. Shift paste. There we go. All right, so Aether Foundation overrun. Lily's struggling. Sophocles hacking the Aether Foundation's espionage program very against Faba being released from prison while Lily is stuck in the middle of whether or not they have him released. Kiawe. A mellow plot. Kiawe works for Lily because... Yeah. Mallo's restaurant is failing to make ends meet, wants Faba out because of the best finances for the company. Mallow is against Faba's release. Sees how stressed...
Sun Moon is the comfiest season. It really is. Like, that's a really good word for it. You watch it, you just... Man.
Would you say that it's wholesome?
I'm trying really hard not to use that word, because every time I hear... It's like one of my sleeper agent words.
Oh. Okay, and then we have the Lily Celine romance hasn't come up yet. Like this is like the beginning of the season, and then we have the Lana plot tracking down Sophocles while being exposed as a crooked cop by taking bribes and abusing suspects. All forged by Sophocles. Did I spell Sophocles wrong? What the fuck? Sophocles, here we go. So there's the beginning and the conclusion. Now we need the middle. Many years still. So what's the middle of the season now? Because we have the beginning, the middle, and we have the beginning and the end. Now we need the end, the middle. But the middle. Okay, so should it be a high or a low? The middle of the season, do you think? I'm thinking a low. Mallow not appear than just...
Molly goes to the White House and someone says wholesome. Molly comes to her senses only to discover the president's blood on her hands. Thanks, Insane Oddball. So let's see, the middle of the season.
I'm thinking it should be a low to build up from.
Yeah, because we need it to revolve around like Lily's low point and Celine coming in.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that like a new initiative by Aether fails miserably. Like it seems to work in the prior episode, and then like this episode, like everything goes wrong with it.
Ryan, why do you hate Mallow so much? I don't care if she doesn't do anything. She's comfy like the rest of the show. She's just a good kid.
Wrong, and Pokemon begin to die, maybe? Oh, Pokemon begin to get sick.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. I don't want them dying. Can we leave animal cruelty out of this?
Get horribly sick. Creating a massive PR scandal that Lily is overstressed navigating. Kiawe steps up to help her navigate it, but is feeling pressures. How is it navigated? Lily begins seriously considering getting Faba out of jail to work for them. So then we have the Kiawe Mallow plot. This low point I have very clearly in my head is this is where Mallow admits that she's still in love with Lily. Admits that she's still in love with Lily, has been this whole time, and Kiawe leaves the house so they can have some time apart. Kiawe begins to spite Lily, but
so is Kiawe gonna try and kill Lily?
To let it get in the way. That might be like a later season thing. I feel like this is like. I
feel like that would be the easiest assassination ever.
Well, but not if Celine were there. Remember, Celine's the big freaking.
Not
hero.
if Lana was there.
True.
Lana could take him down in a fight.
Returns. Let's see, Celine, Lily.
I love it when random characters are just like absurdly strong just because of like little stunts they do. Like Lana literally has like a 6-foot vert. She's crazy. She has the highest vertical jump of anybody in that cast. That is canon.
Just like how
Ryan, why are you calling me Ashley? Is it my name?
Maybe it's an insult. I know a lot of Ashleys that I don't like. So Lily-Celine romance. Celine arrives from out of town. So is she now newly being introduced to this environment because she wasn't in the anime, or are we going to say that like she was there before the anime and left?
I think she was there before the anime, just like living somewhere else. Like she was just in the background living her life. Isn't your name Ashley? My name's not Ashley. My name is Molly.
Mollie Rhymemaster. The immortal Mollie Rhymemaster. I introduce her at the beginning of every stream.
My favorite example of like a character being grotesquely strong for no reason is in the Phoenix Wright Professor Layton crossover. The first case of the game involves this like weedy little girl. You know, she's like 17 or 18. And somebody tries to attack her with an iron pipe, like from above, and she stopped it like this, like with like over her head, like a big ass pipe being swung full force, like on the downward trajectory, so it has gravity going through it, and she stops it.
I don't care how strong you are. That fucking smarts.
It probably did, but
like I don't. Your fingers are not going to be strong enough to do that.
Yeah, Estella Cantabella's were. I did like the math on it once, and she would have had to exert like 1,000 pounds of force upward.
Jesus Christ.
To stop it, even accounting for like the space
I completely forgot. Sorry, I completely forgot. Your name is literally right above you. I completely forgot we have name tags on screen. Ashley is Molly's evil alternate universe self from Earth 3. Yes.
The only Ashley I know is that one song in Smash Bros. Dude, Ashley's theme slaps.
Ashley. Yeah, that's right. That was like from WarioWare.
Yeah.
I would play her missions all the time just so I could listen to that song. I love it.
I love the Electro Swing remix. That somebody did, but yeah, like even accounting for, you know, like the point where she would have started exerting the force to the point it had to stop before hitting her head, it literally would have been like 1,000 pounds. Spella Cantabella is jacked. But absolute unit.
I was gonna say, so should Celine know any of the characters beforehand? Should she have like ties to any of them?
She'll have ties to How.
Well, it's to how, yes, but do they know how?
How was like briefly in the anime, like for a couple.
Okay, that's right. What does Celine do?
Like, what is her job? Or
What's her job?
What
why is she in the islands?
she was born there.
Okay, but what is she doing back? Is she just visiting family? Is she like starting a new life that she's trying to escape an old one? Well, I like that idea. She's escaping an old life and she's trying to come back.
Escaping. She's trying to become a protagonist, like she is in a different universe.
Trying to escape an old life she's left behind. Where was she? Was she like I want to say Unova?
Yeah, she went to Unova after growing up in Alola and is trying to reintegrate back or something, and like Hal's a childhood friend. She like wanted to do her Pokemon journey there or something. I don't know.
I was like, oh, if we wanted to be like a spurned lover type situation, but they would be children back then. But now, yeah. But I'm like, wait, what if we had it like they were like play girlfriend and boyfriend? Like they just like, oh, you're my boyfriend now, and I'm your girlfriend, and like they were like there for like 5 days. Like,
well, you could also say she left when she was like 17 instead of 10.
Yeah, but like just have Hal be like weirdly fixated on that. Like, you said you were my girlfriend, and it's like, dude, we were like 5.
The other like weirdly strong character moment I always liked is in Rise from the Ashes, where Lana kicks over like a full oil barrel of water, which would have weighed like 400 pounds.
Celine is related to Kukui in the games. Okay.
No, she's not.
She's not?
Mm-mm.
I was gonna say, like, that'd be weird for a Pokemon game to have a main character relation that's not apparent.
He calls her cousin, but it's like friendly.
Yeah, that happens. I think, like, hey brother, how you doing?
Yeah, Kukui calls everybody cousin.
Secretly, he actually knows they are actually all cousins. And he just didn't tell anyone they're all related.
Just a super inbred region.
She went to Unova and was frozen during Team Plasma's attack.
Oh my gosh. I always forget about that. That like they had a Pokemon Generations episode about it, and people are dead. Like, they are frozen corpses. They are dead.
If you don't know someone's name, just don't use it. Assigning someone a name is weird.
If you're going to assign me a name, make it a really cool one.
She's someone's... Ryan, I don't, like... Oh, I haven't watched for a while. I forgot your name, so you sound like an Ashley to me. I mean, okay, man, it's a little weird. Just saying.
I always thought I came off as a Molly. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't imagine any other Mollies now. Sounds like a CW twist. How becomes an incel? That sounds... Yeah, that...
No!
Oh, that sounds like a CW twist. Molly with a Y.
It's my secret evil twin.
And they have to, like, we have to differentiate you two because, like, you're Molly and she's Mol Y. Let's see, Billy Bob Joe Schmo, the thirdning. Why didn't we get to see corpses in black and white too? I don't know.
Because it was a E-rated video game.
Just funny, like in the middle of the street, they can't move the damn things because they're so heavy. There's like they're rooted to the spot in ice, and it's just like, yeah. So there's like just corpses around.
It's like that one town in Final Fantasy VI where there's just corpses. Like, it just looks like people lying down, and then you walk up to them, and like they don't say anything. You can't interact with them. They're just objects, and you're like, ah.
Can't imagine any other Molly either, but I don't know any other Mollys, so that might be why. Yeah, I don't know any other Mollys either.
I know a few.
Is Molly short for something?
No, but every time someone asks me that, I say it's short for Maleficent. You
know there's someone on Tumblr that claims that. Besides you. As a joke. Like they don't take it as a joke. So yeah, Lily Celine romance. Celine arrives out of town, but what is? I guess she's a failed Pokemon trainer, maybe. She failed to make it big as a Pokemon trainer. Came back to, what does she want to do? She's a hero. She's got a hero complex going on. What is Celine?
She like wants to be a champion and like an important trainer or something that like helps people, I guess.
To participate.
She's like, I want to be a gym leader. But there are no that's it. She wanted to be a gym leader, and this is like the manga verse gym leaders, where they're like also expected to like put their lives on the line, for their region if need be. And she like wanted to do that, so she went to Unova because there are no gym leaders in Alola. But like it didn't work out.
Let's see. Arrives from out of town, failing to become a gym leader. And what does she want now? Why is she coming? Is she coming back to lick her wounds, or?
Yeah, basically. That's kind of generic. Yes, Blade Charge, it is. That's the point.
Wounds.
This is intentionally written poorly.
Lily and meets Lily, and they strike off a friendmance from the get-go.
Sorry.
They share coffee together.
Okay.
Sorry, you were going to say something.
They share coffee together. The ultimate. Nothing. It's just a friend of mine saying something really funny. That's why I'm laughing.
Wait, Molly isn't short for Molly de Noom?
Isn't that like an element? Isn't there an element that starts with Molly? Like Moly?
I don't know. All I can think of is Loris Denemu from Ace Attorney.
Loris Stoneham.
I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
I think it's Stoneham.
Donim, something like that.
Stoneham.
What, a generic Pokemon protagonist?
Does she want to be a gym leader or an Elite Four member? Gym leader, because as far as the manga goes, gym leaders are either evil or they don't arrive until like the last part of a battle to kind of, sweep up the rest.
Plus, it would have made Getsus look cooler. Coffee is a sacred bonding ritual in CW shows. It is. It is. They always have coffee. That, or in particular in the CW DC shows, it's Big Belly Burger. Though I love Big Belly Burger. I think it's awesome.
You know what's a good show that just dropped?
What?
Jellystone.
Never heard of it.
It's it just dropped on HBO Max. It's being directed by C.H. Greenblatt, the guy who did Chowder, and it's just like Hanna-Barbera town. And like that's the setup.
Huh.
Sarah and I watched a few episodes. It's actually really clever. It has like intense Chowder feelings. Like intense Chowder aura. That you just don't see anymore.
God, so. I watched Critical Rank Cartoon Network shows, and he put Chowder in F tier.
Maybe I should stop liking. Hey guys, what's up? Critical here. Moist fart. Dick. Crap. Come. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I think he's a little more insightful than that, but yeah, he does do a lot of that kind of stuff. I'm not going to deny that. But I thought because like specifically people were like, he's like, oh, I don't remember watching Chowder all that much. I mean, like I never seen it. My friend never seen it, and then people were like, oh, watch the car wash scene, which is like the best joke in the show. And he's like, all right, I saw that. I'm giving it enough. I'm like, what? You have just thrown all your metrics out the window. One of the
greatest jokes in cartoons.
If it wasn't for his designation of Courage the Cowardly Dog as possibly the best cartoon in existence, I would be questioning his credentials.
I didn't like Courage the Cowardly Dog, but in my defense, it was because I was like 4, when that show was like that show ended pretty early in my life. And when you're 4 and you're watching Courage the Cowardly Dog, it's not an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, no, Courage is legitimately scary. That's why it's good.
Yeah. My parents had like this weird thing with cartoons where like they had really specific ones they didn't want me to watch, but like didn't actually know what the contents were. So Courage the Cowardly Dog was okay. Billy and Mandy was okay. Like they liked those. They let me watch those for some reason. They didn't like me watching The Adventures of Lilo and Stitch and Kim Possible because they said that they were violent. And the funniest one is my mom didn't like me talking about Fairly Odd Parents. And it was for years I wondered why. She said, oh, it's because the kids are really rude to the adults. And I'm like, I guess that's true, but like that kind of applies to most kids' cartoons, is that they're rude to the adult figure. So I'm wondering, like,
well, and not only that, but like, if you read into the context of Fairly Odd Parents, he's in an abusive like household.
Yeah. And so I always wondered why, and then I realized at one point she said like, "Oh, I hate that show because they say a lot of bad words and make inappropriate jokes."
Molly, you're roboting.
Oh,
there we go. You're back.
I said, and I was just like, she was like, "Oh, but they say a lot of bad words and inappropriate jokes." And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're thinking of South Park, not Fairly Odd Parents."
Oh my god, she was. Oh wow.
In her defense, if you don't
no cartoons,
don't know anything about cartoons, they do look kind of similar.
Molly reviewed the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, I will tell you now, is god tier. It's up there.
It is. I don't remember that much of it because, like I said, that show ran when I was very young. Like that era of like Teen Titans, Billy and Mandy. Like that was. I was still in preschool, early elementary school. The ones I actually grew up watching that I remember a lot were like Chowder and Flapjack and like that era of shows. That's what I was watching as a kid.
I was gonna say Billy and Mandy is where I learned the first example of too much of a good thing, because I loved Fred Burger when he was introduced. I thought he was freaking hilarious during the
and then he came back.
and then they tried to bring him back for like the spin-off with Irwin and Haas Delgado. Like there was that weird spin-off they tried to get going where like, it was like a Monster Squad like team up deal. And like Fred Burger was on it, and it was just like it didn't work. I remember watching that special and being like, I should like this more than I do, but I really didn't. I hated like the entire show, and so Dracula do the scrape and lick. Yes. No, I don't do sucking. No, I scrape and lick.
Usually, Moopa says usually the kids in cartoons are in situations where the adults don't warrant respect. And I think it's a valid lesson to teach. I think it is too, because if an adult is not being nice to you, you should not like respect that. It's always so frustrating as well. Like I'm going to sound like a bratty teenager here, but when like adults just expect you to absolutely respect and follow them regardless of how they treat you.
Yeah, like what really galls me is that we treat kids like kids. We don't treat them like adults. And I don't mean that we should respect them like adults. What I mean is kids are just adults with a lack of information and a lack of like their cognitive processes haven't been aligned, but it doesn't mean all of their cognitive processes haven't been aligned. Like they have things that are working in the back of their heads. They can understand certain types of logic. And so like you should treat kids with a level of respect of like a general human being and be like, you shouldn't treat them like they're idiots, is what I'm trying to say. They're not idiots. They're generally pretty smart.
We all have like a story of like weird expectations that we had that like weren't actually applicable in the real world. Like for example, and this still happens, my family has like this very big expectation that I listen to whatever they talk about, and like I can't leave the table if they're not done talking about what they want to, and like I have to stay and listen to everything. But like when I'm in the real world, that never happens, because if I don't like what somebody's talking about, I just leave or like I ignore it, and like that's considered very typical normal behavior. Like there's a lot of stories I know like that. Like we all have one where it's like there was just this one very odd expectation put on you by adults that applied. That's like what I'm always told. It's like, oh, well, when you're in the work world, when you're in the office, you can't do this. But I've worked in offices before, and I could do those things.
Well, like there's something that I realized like a while back when I just heard someone talking about how they treat like food they can't finish. It's like if I can't finish something, I just throw it away, and I'm like, wait, what? You do what? You do what? Like because like growing up, it never occurred to me. Growing up, I would like they would always tease me for not being part of the clean plate club or something like that because as a kid, they always want you to eat your meals. And now I'm realizing I was fat for the first 18 years of my life. And I'm like, oh, now I understand why. I was being overfed and I was eating, like, I was glutting myself. And, like, I shouldn't have done that. I should have been, like, just finishing when I wasn't hungry and then walked away. It's weird, man.
Yeah. Kids are adults with the most freedom without being considered bums. Modern cartoons are just a bunch of comedy shows. Not really. That's actually a really like not a non-astute observation. Most cartoons right now are not comedy, and that's the problem. Is that they're all trying to be like these very serialized stories, and very few of them work.
You still need, I still think before you bash Owl House, you need to give it a watch. You can bash the creators all you want. That's
I wasn't going to bash Owl House.
Yeah.
But now that you brought it up, I will say that most cartoon creators right now are emotionally stunted adults.
Yes, I will definitely concur that. Most of them are. There are some that they're delivering what I consider good quality entertainment, but they themselves raise some alarm bells. I wish I had a Nerf sword and gun.
All right, let's get back to writing this. We're getting very off topic.
Well, I think we've basically gotten the beginning, middle, and end of season 1 good to go. It took a little bit longer because we were still trying to figure out some of the characters, it feels like. But basically, our main plots follow through on, you know, the Aether Foundation struggling and having PR disasters all over the place, and eventually there's a big push for a rehabilitation program that seems to work initially, but then during like the real middle finale collapses in on itself.
Yeah.
And that basically is what Lily decides to bring Faba out, which saves the programs, and he has all these great ideas for rehabilitation, for breeding programs, for getting Pokemon out in the wild again, and doing it very quickly and very efficiently, and it's very effective, and it's starting to like make an uptick for the Aether Foundation. And during this, they managed to arrest Sophocles with a raid on the house with Lana's help, and there's a breakthrough with that. Oh, we didn't do Lana's mid-tier. Oh, got that. We'll get to that in just a minute. But like, then we have the Kiawe Mallow plot, where they're struggling. Kiawe, the restaurant is struggling. Kiawe is helping. Should Mallow's like shop be closed down for some reason during the midpoint? Nah. Too much.
Lana, like, her mid thing should be the oh wait, no.
We start with her. Maybe the crooked cop stuff comes in the midpoint. Maybe that's her low point.
Yeah, I was gonna say her low point is like a straight violence.
Yeah, Sophocles manipulates footage.
I'm doing
of
that
her
thing
trying to apprehend. Is there like a minor character we can throw in as like a red herring for Sophocles?
Yes. I'm doing that thing that boys do in anime that nobody actually does in real life.
Putting your hand. I've done it a couple of times.
But
that's after playing Kingdom Hearts though. And the only reason why is it's actually really good at keeping my armpits not sweaty.
Cartoons should backpedal on trying to be Gravity Falls and just focus on being a good show. Yeah! Except you, Matt Braley. You could do whatever you want. a real problem with the clean plate club rhetoric is that people just shouldn't put too much on their plates in the first place. Smaller portions should be normalized. Yeah, I always just take as much as I know I'm gonna eat, and then that's it.
When you're a kid with a mother, though, your mom wants you to eat because they want you to grow up big and healthy. Like that's
my parents try to do that with me, and then they were just like, well, she's not gonna eat. She's like they still tease me about it sometimes, like a friendly way. They're like, Molly's the only person in this family who stops eating when she's full.
Because my grandfather's it bleeds down through generations. My grandfather's method was, when you're full, just wait for the pain to subside. That's his method of eating, and I can't do that anymore myself. My dad can't. My dad is actually scarily skinny. My aunt is scarily skinny. I don't know where like the weight in the family goes. It's just me and my uncle who are overweight, or at least my uncle is overweight. Although he's getting pretty slim too. Although I think it might be older age. I'm a healthy weight right now. I'm like 155, 160, which is like pretty good for my height. Yeah. There's something funny about there's something about the cartoons that was funny and awesome, but there was some that can be scary. I think through 2000 and 2010, I don't know. There was like the early heyday of Cartoon Network was fantastic. So Sophocles manipulates footage. So who are we thinking of? Who's the character we're thinking of?
The red herring. You could have it be Moylain, but I feel like that's too obvious because it's someone with a direct connection.
And Moylain also has like a bad relationship with.
Yeah, you can have it be like Plumeria or Guzma, or just Team Skull in general.
I thought we weren't going to do anything with them.
You can red herring them, like just mention like, oh, this is probably Team Skull's doing.
Well, we need someone like being manhandled effectively to like for him to manipulate. Plumeria. Gladion would be too quick to bring in.
Yeah, I don't want to bring in Gladion yet.
Hapu.
Hapu. That would be so sad. Hapu's only like 3 feet tall.
Let's see. Oh, he's a paraplegic. I forgot.
Oh yeah, she was like in. Well, that would definitely be a good person to try to frame violence for.
Kahili.
Like, if you want to make someone look bad, you can't choose a much better target.
Oh, Kahili, right? That's the.
Kahila could be the red herring.
Trying to apprehend Kahili, who he himself red herringed. Is she violent? Can she be violent?
She's a golfer. She could be.
Yeah. Kahili violently resists. But the footage only shows Lana being violent back. There we go. That works. Because Kahili has her own arc later. We had ideas, or at least we had an idea that she's like trying to get her father's hotel up and running or something like that.
Like trying to get it make more money, or yeah.
There's an artist I follow that does really cute art for like Madoka Magica, but she hardcore ships the main like the Sun and Moon main character with Kahili because she's like, I love Kahili so much, and it's like it would sound so cringe. It sounds cringe and weird, but like it makes it clear that the main character's obsession with Kahili is kind of like unhealthy, because like and Kahili is like both kind of charmed but also kind of creeped out by it. And it's like she does like what's the really colorful like the bird for Toucanum, is that right? No, it's not Toucanum, it's the one that has like different variants per island. Oricorio. She tries to like do the Oricorio like mating dance. It's just like, and Kahili's like, what the fuck are you doing? I might have to show it to you. It's pretty cute.
I don't play Pokemon. Who's Swahili? She's like the most. Kahili's one of the. Well, Kahili's like the most minor named character in Sun and Moon besides Ryuki.
But doesn't she fire the big ass toucanon? Like, isn't that in the anime where she fires a
That's
cannon?
in the anime.
Yeah.
Yeah, she holds it like an RPG and fires it.
That's hilarious.
It's great. When they're playing like Super Golf.
So yeah, there we have. We have the 4 major plot lines, one of which comes in near the middle, that all connect together. For the seasonal storylines, season 2's there. I'll put season 1. So, that's about. I know it doesn't look like much, but like you gotta we're doing a fine balance here because season 1 is supposed to be a little bit good. It's supposed to be a little bit good where it's like, oh, there's some interesting things going on, but you got a lot of like really crappy relationship drama in there. That's kind of the
that's like what ruins a lot of good things. It's just having romance where we have no like it has no reason to be there. Like this happens so much in shows that I've seen where I just get back to the main story. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to ship people.
See, here's the thing that I think a lot of movies didn't pick up on. It's like a lot of the action movies where the characters get together at the end, where it's like the hero gets the girl type deal. It literally was just like, that's a tack on. It's a tack on, and it's not focused on. It's like, oh, they have good chemistry, they're together. That's about it. It's not about the characters getting like in this deep, complex romance or having this relationship drama. Like literally, the romance between McClane and his wife in Die Hard is just, it's 2 characters that play well off of each other, and they just so happen to be a married couple going through a rough time. It's not anything deeper than that. It's just a thing that's in the movie, and it's, I don't know. It's just, that's a very smart movie. I love Die Hard so much.
Yeah, but like even for other things, like when I'm watching these cartoons or whatever, because that's the only TV I watch because I am an immature child, is like they'll try to like put in these romance arcs and these shit arcs and everything, and it's, I don't care. I'm not here for that. Like, what is interesting to me is what's actually happening. The romance is just taking away from that, and you're taking time away from having the characters interact with the main conflict just so they can, make hard eyes at each other. If you're gonna put in romance, at least have it tied into the main conflict.
Because we need to explain everything, Ray. I'm a shipping fiend, but I still want well-written relationships where appropriate. Yes. I'm right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, have it be relevant to some extent. It shouldn't take away from the story. It should add to it. Add to the characterization. Like, if you have a romance that's just, ooh fluff, it adds nothing to the characterization.
Like, if
there has to be something.
If you're in a slice of life show, that's probably okay. But, like, a lot of these are serialized. You got to be very careful with romance and serialization because typically people want that to affect the plot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and when you want it to affect the plot, that means the plot will often affect the relationship back, and that can get very nasty real quick without you realizing.
But nasty's fun. I want to see nasty relationships and character dynamics because it's interesting and it adds character.
Well, that's like the thing is like you have to be careful with it because it could work in a way you don't make intention, and it could be like not fun in some way. Like it could just be something like a good, well-meaning character suddenly becomes a sexual assaulter. Like say, I don't know, Wonder Woman 1984, where her boyfriend possesses the body of a random dude. They sleep together, and it's never addressed the fact that she technically raped that guy. Yeah, that's the kind of shit that can happen. Also, I am really blown out on my monitor. I'm going to lower this window.
For me, it's like, the reason why I can really appreciate a series like Ace Attorney is because it does literally everything it can to avoid romance. Everything it can.
To the point that it pisses me off, actually. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Iris! Phoenix!
Where's Iris?
Where's Iris?
They can have. That's the one I'll give them. If they bring back Iris, I'll be happy. But
like if in the next mainline Ace Attorney game, not the Great Ace Attorney, which I still need to get and play. In the next mainline Ace Attorney game, if they do not like they should just have Iris just show up for like one scene and be like, "Hey, honey, you forgot your lunch at home. I brought it to you," and then just leave.
Yeah.
And just have Trucy being like, "Man, mommy is so sweet," and just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. That's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I will be satisfied.
Give Trucy a mom. 2022 is my campaign.
Give Trucy a mom that's not Edgeworth.
Yeah. I'm tired of reading that in fan fictions, and I've only been reading them for 2 days. I'm already sick of it.
Yeah, God, I have to actively uncheck Edgeworth X Phoenix
Same.
constantly, and even then it sneaks in somehow. I don't know how.
It's so like, I just hate basic bitch ships sometimes. Well, most of the time, like don't get me wrong, I like some basic bitch stuff, but there's a point where it's just like, wow, this is so uninteresting. It's so boring.
It's oh man. Just have Phoenix with a ring and indirectly reference her works too. Yeah, maybe like that'd be great. Like just tease us with that maybe a little bit. Like honestly, the next game does have to deal with a lot of weird relationship stuff at the very minimum because we still have the Apollo and Trucy thing to address.
Please just tell them, Phoenix.
Just tell them before...
Tell them before things get weird.
Yeah, tell them before, like, hey, Trucy, we've known each other a long time. You want to go out for a drink? And just, like if Phoenix isn't there in the room at the time, to be like, all right, you two, look, we gotta have a sit down before things start escalating here. Like, we gotta address some things, guys.
It reminds me of, like, when I used to read Attack on Titan fanfiction, and, like, I just wanted to read about, like, Sasha or something. And Attack on Titan has bad overtagging, and I would have to, like, manually uncheck Levi Aaron, Levi Airman, everything, and, like, it still wouldn't be about her.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, weirdly enough, I don't read fanfiction of Catradora anymore since the finale, since I think it being so rushed at the end kind of killed my obsession with the ship, which helps. But I like Scorpia and Perfuma because that's a super fucking like cute relationship that's like healthy. Scorpia
deserves better than being in that show.
But Scorpia. Oh wait, no, sorry, I forgot. Perfuma is canon trans.
Anyway, but yeah. Fun fact: I was reading through Apollo's Wikia page. And something I found interesting is that there's only... so in Japanese, he calls everybody by their last name San. So he's basically saying, like, Mr. Wright, Miss Sykes. He does that for everyone except for 4 people. It's like... Hold on. I need to, like, look it up because it's bad. It's, like, bad. It's... like, when I hit the punchline, you're gonna get worried.
Oh, don't tell me it's Clavier.
No. Where is it?
Gavin? Not Gavin.
No, he will only do that for Dirk. He will only call by their first name. He will only call Dirk, Nayuta, Clay, and Trucy by their first name. I don't like that Trucy's on that list. I don't like that Trucy is on that list because Athena isn't.
I'm going through my mind at that right now because I'm like, okay, Nayuta and Dirk work in some way because like they're foreigners. Foreigners typically like Japanese people typically default to like English. If you have an English speaker, you refer to them by first name. You don't refer to them by...
Well, there's also, like, spoiler stuff that makes that work.
Yeah, there's a lot of spoiler stuff that makes that work. Though
that makes sense?
It makes... also, I don't think he respects Dirk, so that would actually make sense. Clay being on that list, yeah. Honestly, like, that's actually one ship I'm okay with, is Clay and Apollo.
I don't mean it in a shipping sense. It's because they're, like, childhood best buddies, at the very least.
I mean, the thing is, like, though, like, people ship those two, and I'm like, all right, yeah, fine.
They were, like, 12, what?
Weren't they? I thought they were more adult. Like they actually grew up together in some way. Like I thought, like
I thought they grew up, but like I don't know.
I'm trying to remember like the time frame.
But the fact that Trucy is there worries me. Because he now puts her on the same level as 3 other extremely important people in his life. And it's a little concerning.
Yeah, like, oh god, that would be... Oh no! Phoenix right tackles the Chris Chan.
No!
Oh god! Oh!
There are 3 queries to filter out ships you don't want are more extensive than any SQL query I have to write in 5 years as an e-commerce developer. Apollo's astronaut friend. Apollo and his 3 backstories.
Apollo was really them trying really hard to force a new main character. And it only worked at the very end, I felt.
Well, yeah, because the last case of Spirit of Justice is good. I actually really liked it.
Yeah, I thought all Spirit of Justice was fantastic.
The final case of Dual Destinies, everything with Athena is really, really good, and everything not involving Athena is not good.
Fucking everything about Clay and the who was the guy that ran the space center who was really annoying?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. But no, the fourth case of that game is really good, and then like the 5th case is like everything with Athena's backstory is like one of the best. Like, I know it's like a lot to say. It is some of the best writing in the series. I love how they tie in everything about her backstory to make it work. Every detail counts. You can't forget anything. It all works. I really like that.
Does anyone else remember Jinxie? Does anyone remember that Jinxie exists? I just did. I thought she was a terrible character.
I really love the idea that Trucy just like Trucy being friends with this like clearly deranged girl. I think works because imagine what Trucy could get her to do. Jinxie, the spirits will get you if you don't steal me like 12 candy bars right now.
How old is Apollo?
Apollo's 24 as of Spirit of Justice.
How old is he initially? He's like
22.
22. So I was asking, have they ever explained how everyone is so how these legal people are so young? You can get out of law school by like 26, and that's how old Phoenix was.
Yeah, why everybody else is so young, I don't know.
Well, Athena's a child genius.
There has been a person who passed the U.S. bar in California at age 18.
Yeah,
that has happened. Her name was like really funny too. Her last name was Turnquest.
Dude, we live in the Ace Attorney timeline.
we live in a close approximation to the Ace Attorney timeline. I found a post on my Tumblr blog from 5 years ago that was like, I keep warning all of you that we're living in we're inching closer to the California that the Ace Attorney warned us about, and I wish I wasn't right.
Oh man, it also like nothing happens between 2020 and 2021. In
2022, nothing happens. So I can't even be like, oh, COVID, because I literally can't. Nothing happened.
It is so bizarre. So bizarre.
One thing happened though. One thing happened. Athena's mom was, dissected.
Unlife.
Unlife. But the thing that kills me is when I was like, this was back in like 2016, 2017. I always had canon that Athena would be a Los Angeles Dodgers fan. And the Dodgers, like Athena's mom dies on October 7th, 2020, and the Dodgers won the World Series on October 27th, 2020. So that must have been a really interesting time in Athena's life.
Yay! Oh man, Apollo looks like a teen, to be honest. He looks young, but like people look young. I've met some young looking lawyers, trust me.
Hey V just stopped by. This is now an Ace Attorney stream.
Hi V, we're just talking Ace Attorney now. It's great.
Yeah, but everybody else in Ace Attorney is super young, and it's honestly like the exception at this point if you got your law degree at a regular age.
Well, let's see. Miles got it at a regular time, I thought.
No, I thought he was early.
Was he early? Oh, how?
Francisca got it like 13.
Yeah, Francisca was a prodigy. Miles was forced to be a prodigy. He got it at 20. He got it at 20.
How do you even recognize that you're a law prodigy at like 12? Like how do you see that in a
Your
if
father
somebody-
is freaking Manfred von Karma. That's how.
I know, but like if we could do a stream of making our dream Ace Attorney case, that'd be fun. But besides the point, like if somebody's a really good like basketball player, you can tell that from a young age. You're like, wow, they can score a lot of baskets with really good accuracy. But like, how do you tell somebody would make a good prosecutor? Man, you sure know lots of laws. Yes.
I suppose.
Sebastian was also a prodigy, wasn't he?
There's a lot of prodigies.
Yeah. For once, I would kind of just like a normal person in Ace Attorney.
Well, that's actually what I love about Emma.
Me too. I was about to say Emma. That's why she's so good as an adult. She's just like, I'm a failure.
Yeah. I literally failed to do what I love most, and then later she succeeds because she keeps trying. It's like, yeah, it's a good lesson. Not everyone needs. I mean, that's what I love about Phoenix. He's just. I mean, he gets disbarred and then he has to get everything back. Really good at Judge Judy trivia.
Man, like Emma's just like a dude. She's just chilling.
Stream where you write a CW Ace Attorney show. I don't have the stomach to do that.
I would love that. That was like me writing headcanons when I was 16 or 17 years old. And
like me and Molly were talking about things, and it's just like, I was like, oh, should we just like talk like, I don't know, we can go like full deep on like the darkest things. We did an entire AU for Sword and Shield. Where they're
all like athletes with severe personal issues.
Yeah, the actual athlete culture.
Yeah.
CW ruins Ace Attorney with Celtic Phoenix as the head writer. No, if I were handed a live-action Ace Attorney show, you bet your sweet ass I'm going to do everything in my power to make that amazing. And you know what?
It's gonna be like the movie.
Oh, fuck them. The movie is okay. I don't like the movie, but I can recognize what it was trying to do. It was a weird like middle ground of things. Yeah. No, like I know how to sell it to them. Oh, there's a will they won't they romance between Phoenix and Maya that you can play with, and I will never confirm it.
Yeah. The answer is they won't. I always found that a weird ship. Because Maya is such like I don't think calling her baby is a good phrase for the first
They
game.
ship them really hard. They ship them really hard in the first game. Like they really pushed the ship in the first game.
Wow, she's like 16 in the first game.
I know. I don't know why, but like you can feel it, like in the way they present her, like especially the going away scene.
That's true.
At the very like it feels very like romantic, and I'm like, this shouldn't be like they're like 8 years apart. That's not, and they do kind of tease
8 years apart, and it's so like this is like a feral child. Like she feels more like a feral child that has entered into Phoenix's life more than a love interest.
Yeah, like I feel like, I
like how Kay is literally a feral child that entered into Edward's life.
Yes,
I mean not literally, but the first time Miles met Kay, he had to like give her a donut, like a Swiss roll, to calm her down. She's like 11, and she was like doing this.
And then the second time they met, she had to break him out of being kidnapped. So
yeah, it works.
God, I love Kay. She's so great. But yes, I think we're going to wrap the stream there.
Yeah.
We're probably going to come back to this.
Yeah, if Raymond and I want to talk about Ace Attorney, we should just do that in a call instead of on stream.
Yes. That said,
so that's what I'm doing after this.
All right. Well, going to call it there. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you all had a lot of fun. We're going to try and cover season 2 the next time we do this. Love to get in on that. I'll have to create a custom thumbnail for the CW's Pokemon. Maybe I can find like some really, really shitty fan art where like they have like blown up lips and like I don't know, like Botox like injected everywhere. I'll see what I can dig up with like really cringy fan art for Sun and Moon, and try not to go insane with all the really decrepit stuff that I find. That said, If you want to support the channel, please donate to my Patreon for $1.
Oh, and next week is the scene from Three Perspectives. That's the prompt.
That's right. That's the prompt for next week. Is Three Perspectives, where you basically tell the same story from three perspectives. However you want to take that, do it within 750 words. Thank you all so much for joining us. For $1 or more to my Patreon, you get access to the Team Frostbite Discord server where me, Molly, Fat Man, Dashy Lee, and other big names from around the fandom are regularly active.
You want to see me argue with teenagers? That's the place to go.
Yeah, Molly loves to argue with you. It's great. It's a great time for Molly.
I love alienating my fan base.
That said, that's all we have for you today, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Bye.